So I can confidently say that all three of these episodes, they suck dick with a paper straw.
These are the jokes, kid.
But welcome to Small Talk episode 56. My name is Ryan Cam, Jacob Collins, Matt Wyatt here as usual. So, man, this was some schlock, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like fucking awful episode. But all
Really?
three of
You
these,
didn't like any of those episodes?
no, they suck dick.
You got to be trolling me right now at this point. Like, what the
Yes, we are. Okay.
you're full of shit. I was like, you what the I knew you were
What
full of
the
shit. Like, what enough? I knew it. I fucking knew it.
That was, I did not.
There's no fucking way I buy it into that. No fucking way.
Before Ryan texted me, says,
I guess you fucking he talked you into it. I guarantee that was Jake.
Ryan texted me and was like, I love these episodes. I'm like, you know what we should do? We should really fuck with Matt and just say we hate these episodes. Ryan's like, I know what I'm gonna say. I was like, I know what I'm gonna say.
It only took me a minute to figure that out. Like, no fucking
There's
way.
no way.
No, I don't
Ryan's
buy
like,
it. You're
there's
full of
no
shit.
way that this is especially the last
You
episode.
expect me to
There's no
fall
way.
for that?
Yeah. But this episode left a lot of us in tears for good reasons.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, Mr. Collins and I are being very unserious here in that,
Now I cannot get that image out of my head. Thanks a lot. Like you almost had me. You should add that clip to that Joker and that fucking Zack Snyder cut. You're good. You almost had me.
I told him. I told him this is the. I showed the Dwight Schrute clip from The Office where he's like, where Jim's like, "Tell me how much pot have you smoked?" And then he's like I said, that's gonna be Matt's reaction when he sees him. Like, wait, what? Like,
but in all seriousness, though, I I truly believe these are three of the very best episodes that we're going to be covering on this show. I really can't really think of anything bad to say. I'm sure Collins found some things to
I got some dislikes, yeah, but I mean that's because I got to be fair and critical.
sure, but I mean, like,
But I don't think it's like oh, I like the last episode with product placements and shit. I don't think it's that bad.
no, but like Traveler, Veritas, and Descent were like good, better, best. Let's just say stuff happens in all three of these episodes. There is not a dull moment to be had. And I mean, we could honestly like talk about it forever, but I think we can just dive right in. So let's go in with both feet. This is season 7, episode 14, called Traveler.
You don't know what you're doing.
It's time to find some answers.
We have to save Clark.
Turn over the son of Krypton.
What's happening?
Come out here and face me!
Smallville, all new this Thursday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Lionel kidnaps Clark and holds him in a kryptonite-lined cell at a Luthor Corps facility. Oh, we'll get into the hypocrisy of that little gem in just a minute. Chloe and Lana confront Lionel, who blames Lex, of course, and they then take Kara to the fortress and plead with Jor-El to restore her memories so she can save Clark. So you might as well just rename this episode Hypocrite, because that is exactly what Lionel is. He said, I kidnapped you, Clark, so that others wouldn't kidnap you. Like, I'm sorry, run that by me again? Like,
That's like a rapist saying, "I raped you, so nobody else would rape you." Would have to. I was like, what?
That's a little strong comparison right there from your
well,
part.
yeah, not that extreme, but I
That's
guess
a little extreme.
along that same road. But I mean, this episode was just this episode. It gets better, folks. We're gonna be getting into Veritas and Descent, but man, this episode was so strong.
But I did brought it up that one point when Clark was going into Lex's memories and through his childhood, and Lex's mom was name dropping Veritas. And I mentioned that's going to be playing an important part of the story through this season.
Yeah, the back half of the season is Veritas. That's the Veritas.
Yeah, Algoth and Miles Miller are going all out because they knew that this is their last run for the season. That
they went with bangs. I mean,
they want this to be a banger.
episodes are bangers, except for the one after Descent. I will say the you know what I'm talking about, the
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah, yeah,
Olsen
yeah. The
episode.
Jimmy Olsen centric
That is a
episode.
dumb episode.
It was kind of, it was way too
It was
silly.
like I
I
feel like
didn't.
because they were such at a high note with the next episode, they're like, we need to like because everybody's we're at like a 10 and like everybody's like so like emotionally wrecked after that episode.
Yeah.
Let's just do some funny Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, let's
event.
just have a fun filler episode with Jimmy Olsen. Let's get Jimmy a little bit
Yeah, I
some
feel like I don't think they
action.
did. Like,
Let's let him get a little bit of action, and we will get into that. But I don't want to spoil anything because he has not seen that episode yet. That's something that we'll talk about next week.
But yeah, I'm just saying like that was like I feel like that episode was set up because but I mean like I would say that I'm fine with that filler episode because this is such like especially Descendants like a 10 out of 10 episode.
Because even like with Jimmy, but they do add something that will set up the next episode, and I felt like that wasn't the best part about that episode. But this Traveler episode was really good. I mean, it amped up a little of the ante a little bit when Clark gets taken by Lionel's men to put him in the kryptonite cell.
It's the same guy who played the cop in season 1.
Yeah, I know. I was going to point that out. The same
deputy.
guy who was torturing Clark in his tortured kryptonite chamber. Yeah, it's the same actor who played the Smallville cop.
It wasn't a serial killer. It was the
no. He was just like another like
it was his partner.
Deputy. Yeah, it was his partner. Yeah,
I like to think. I always think whenever they bring actors back to play a different role, it's the same actor.
Yeah,
it's the same character.
I bring it up every now and then when they always bring up some guest stars who are the same actors but playing different characters, and they expect the viewers at home to not notice.
I'm like, but I mean, it's in Vancouver.
I remember I've watched a few episodes of him in Battlestar Galactica when he plays a bigger role in the show.
You know what's funny though? I used to imagine that after like his serial killer cop, he blamed Krypton. He blamed meteor freaks, and he goes, "I'm angry now. I used to be.
I'm angry.
I just like to imagine like that. I just like you know what? It's not a continuity issue. It's basically these are the same characters. Just like when you see, never mind, we haven't got season 8.
Well, right now, Lionel, the only reason he's locking him up is he's trying to protect him from someone that is trying to blackmail him, whoever knows about Clark connection with Clark. I think I'm trying to add something that would justify his capture and why he wanted to take him in for a reason to protect him and not. But the other guy who was leading the torture, he had his own agenda. For his
he's basically prejudiced towards aliens.
Like he just went against what Lionel told what he was being paid to do. His task is just to keep him there contained and not use him as a torture chamber.
Yeah, one thing that I will say ties all three of these episodes together in a neat little bow is and again I won't get into it, we're going to talk about it, but Lionel Luthor paying for his sins. That's all you need to know right now.
This is literally Lionel's farewell trilogy.
Pretty much, yes.
It's a little bit of a farewell because his past is about to catch up with him because Patricia Swan, who is what we meet up in this episode, who is a daughter of Virtual Swan. Yeah, she's a daughter of Virtual Swan. She is starting to dig up of Virtual Swan's past, and now that she discovers that there's a Veritas, that there's a secret society that discovers that there's an alien being from another planet that is about to come to Earth and is destined to become the savior of the world, and she goes around and blackmails Lionel that he's the only one left alive. But the rest of the family, like the Teagues, the Queens, and Swan, are all dead. And it's got some dirt on Lionel and blackmails him.
I will say, though, I mean, because this episode is so perfect. I just want to point out the negatives I have for this. There's no way Patricia Swan knows all this. And how could she know all this stuff from what Lex told her as a child? Because how could Lex? He didn't hear every single detail. And he just hold the thing, and how did he remember all this to tell her? And also, how could he paint a picture that well from memory? Like that picture just looks like it was drawn by like a local artist or something. It doesn't look like
Lex saw the symbol. He saw the symbol as a child, and he painted it as a child. Because if you watch that, when we get into that next episode, he explores the flashbacks of what he'd forgotten. Because after the meteor shower, he blacked out from his old childhood that he has suppressed memories. But then after the events of the Detroit, when he got shot, and then after being brought back from the dead, all of his memories are starting to come back to him. And it's every time he sees an object that is the connection to his past, the memory starts to flash and kick in. So that's why it made a little bit more sense.
I do like that Lex goes and sees her, like he's trying to be like this nice guy still. Like, and then she says like he says, I got you a gift, and this like
Patricia Swan has got her own agenda going on. She is destined, like like desperate to get some answers, going to Lionel, blackmailing him, and now going to his son, asking him for some answers. I don't know.
Lionel
One
really should
question,
have.
Ryan. Do you really think Patricia Swan is really trying to help Clark, or does she have a little bit of agenda going on? And there's a reason, because that letter was sent to Lionel and it was an anonymous letter, but apparently it was Patricia Swan, and that's how this whole incident happened with Clark being taken as the prisoner to be contained to
I
protect
think
them.
the Swans have but we never know now because obviously she's dead.
I mean, we know that the
Honest,
father is there for his goodwill, but we don't know about his daughter. I mean, we don't know much
honestly,
about her.
I honestly
honestly,
think she is.
if a character has the last name Luther, Teague, Swan, or Queen, you can't fully trust them. Yes, I'm including Oliver in that one.
Wow, really? You would not trust Oliver?
Not
I
fully.
mean, like I will say, I mean, you don't know his parents. His parents might have been bastards.
I mean, yeah, we don't know because his parents were dead when he was a kid. He was only like 10 or 12
and
years
the
old when
Teagues
his
tried
parents.
to kill Lana, Lex, and Lionel.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
Teagues were
That's
something they were not to be trusted.
that's
And then
exactly where I'm coming from.
the Swans are the only people that have not been hostile towards Clark at all.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
the father was the only one who we can truly trust, and but the daughter herself, I don't know much about her and what her agenda is.
Virgil
Because she
was
suddenly just recently just discovered the Traveler through her father's journal that he kept.
Virgil was up to some shady stuff, and sadly, Christopher Reeve would end up passing away in 2004. So sadly, like to quote the Tootsie Pop commercial, the world will never know, but we can only speculate as to what the character would have done. But that last shot where he stares at like the thing in the box, like, okay, he's definitely up to something evil.
Oh yeah, for sure. And going back with Kara, now that she was living with Lex in the mansion, he's got a procedure to try to
He's
get
like,
through
I got
in
a
her mind
procedure I
and
want you
try.
to do. I'm like, that sounds
Yeah,
like he's gonna dissect her.
he's clearly trying to go inside her memories of what she has forgotten so that he can discover who she really is. Because he already knows that she's out of the ordinary, that she's special and not just some girl from Minnesota.
And he's
Then we
just
get a
creeping on
little
her
bit of a
too.
Luther break-in. We get the whole
Him and
prison
his
break.
assistant are creeping up on her, and I'm like, what if she walks in? I was thinking, what if she walks in the room in like your office? You don't think she's gonna see her camera? Hey, those are the
What?
cameras.
Hey, what the hell?
Made no sense. How are they able to cut the feed and everything and escape? Which I
I
understand.
guess I guess Chloe Chloe has a laptop where she can fucking hack into his surveillance.
Collins, are you
That's my only
still
explanation.
Collins, are you still 56 episodes deep questioning how they broke into Luther Mansion? Like, hello.
I mean, Lana knows the secret passage to the mansion because she's lived there for a
I mean,
year.
all right, you're right. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
if
she
Lex
brought
looked
that
at,
up. That
he
was
has
the
two
only
security
thing.
guards. He goes, lock down the mansion, and then I'm like, I laughed though. He had two security guards. I'm like, that's lockdown right there.
That's yeah, the worst
Two
security guards
guards.
in this episode was
That's
full of
lockdown.
Even
it's full
even
of people gaslighting.
even if Lana didn't know, she could have just like walked in like she had just paused like the scene like Adam Sandler and click to remove the glove from the kid's face so the ball hits him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Lionel's a piece of shit in this episode. You know.
I don't think he was a piece of shit. I mean, he just does he has his own methods of how he
No,
wants to
he
protect him.
is. Let's
No,
establish that he
that's
is.
what no, I don't believe he was a piece of shit. I mean, he just
Ryan,
I mean,
Matt,
just some of his methods just did not work out as well as we wanted him to. I mean, he had a good reason for doing what he did, even though we don't agree with it. But yeah, from Clark's point of view, to him, he's a piece of shit. But
all right.
I don't believe he was a piece of
So
shit.
Matt. All right. So by your logic, by him doing that, he was looking out for his best interest, right? By your logic, he was.
Yeah, he was looking
that.
out for his
So
best interest.
basically, if you're afraid of your car getting stolen, so I went and grabbed your keys and stole your car, and I called you and said, look, you were afraid of getting your car stolen, so I'm going to drive it and crash it, just so that way you can get over your fears.
Okay, that your analogy is a little bit far off in the extreme to comparing to what this is.
I'm looking out for your best interest, Matt. I'm looking out
not
for
the
your
kind of
best
way that
interest,
you're
though.
not the kind of way that you're describing.
I only have I look out for what's best for you, man. Just gonna come and drive this.
Not the best,
motherfucker
not
into the
really the best
ocean.
analogy.
It's for the greater good. Insert the clip from Hot Fuzz here. The
Yeah, I watched
greater
that earlier,
good.
by the way, the other day for the greater good. Yar.
Yar.
But yeah, I mean, I will say, but I really did think that, like, this was like Rhino, like I do think that he truly did not want to hurt Clark. He was just trying to like do something because the only way he can get the files from Swan's daughter Patricia. And I think that was the only option, like the last resort, which I'm not gonna lie. Why wouldn't you kidnap somebody else that's not like Kira? Saying, but yeah,
but honestly, like, who would volunteer for that? Who would volunteer for doing that? I don't think it would have made any logical sense if that would to be the case.
No,
I'm saying like he could have just done like he could have abducted Chloe and just threw her in a cage and then said like,
that would have gone a little bit too far. I don't think that would have been the right decision to kidnap Chloe. Then Cork would even be more pissed.
I mean, I'm just saying I would have did something like that because I'm like taking Clark, but I understand they were trying to make it like, oh, we don't know who did this. And then you find it's Lionel, you're kind of like, what? Which I do like that Kira did get her memories and powers back. I thought that was pretty cool how she shows up and just fucks up everybody.
that
And
was
then
that was nice.
And then Lionel basically just knocks
He murdered the
girl
guy.
out, and then he's like, he takes the or says put her, and then like which he should have vetted better. I mean, really, he should have literally.
He should have hired
better.
someone better to trust.
Whatever happened to all those other guards? Like the guy had a whole SWAT team rush in there and taser Clark to the ground. Yeah, there's only Lionel and the guard and that crazy guy. There's not like what happened to like the 30 other men that took Clark to the ground?
Yeah, what happened to the 30 men?
They're all on a perpetual smoke break.
That's one way to put it.
You guys hear something? And I'm like, no.
What the fuck's
Holy
that
shit,
noise?
look what happened. Mr. Luther, what happened? You're all fired. You're all fired. I was like, I do also like Lex killing. I do like that Lex killing Patricia at the end, like how she pulls over and all of a sudden.
God, that was so dark
Why are we
there.
stopping her? Goes,
Yeah.
Bam. And I'm like,
he's got her
Lex
necklace.
has her locket.
Yeah, her locket.
Because he wanted her locket. I'm just saying. He wanted her locket, so he's like, so he just had her killed. And I'm like, and then everybody thinks Lionel did it.
Yeah, they're all accusing that Lionel did it.
It wasn't until Jimmy had the photos in the next episode where it's like,
and it looks like that Patricia is constantly like manipulating Clark, and that Lionel wanted him all for himself. Sure, the old Lionel would have, but the Lionel that we know now that's not true. But we don't know.
I mean,
like, I still would not trust her. She's got a little bit of secrets things up her sleeves that she wants to exploit him.
Exactly.
I do like though that whenever she gets killed, because I'm like, I was shocked when I first saw this in 2008. Whenever it aired, I was like, whenever I see like, I'm like, oh, this woman's so nice to Clark. And
hey,
then
why do we stop? Oh, you already know.
Like,
you already know right then and there. Something bad's not gonna.
I thought she would like Lex was gonna show up or something. Instead, no, he shoots her, and then later on Lex has. I'm like, Lex is like, not even gonna worry about it.
Well, we do have two other episodes we have to get to, and trust me, they get better. So we do need to move on. But let's go to scores. Jacob, 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give this. You know what? I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
Really?
Matt, what about you?
I'm gonna say we give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was a damn good episode. But yeah, it's not as strong as the other two episodes that we're going to get into, which I'm very excited for this.
Lowball Jones, but I digress. I'm going to go 9.5. Really love this episode. It was like just
even your biggest criticism that you shit on most parts of this episode, you give it a higher score than I do.
I mean, I just like when it hit, it really hit. I mean, like I said, this was the worst one, and it's still high. We're going to get to these other ones, and they're somehow even better than Traveler. Let's get into that. This season 7, episode 15, called Veritas.
What's coming is so terrible.
Who are you?
The answer to many of your questions. I have kept your secret hidden longer than you imagine.
If we'd have done this my way, no one would have gotten hurt.
Most things we're searching for are closer than we realize.
Smallville. followed by Reaper. All new this Thursday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
When Brainiac ends up in a confrontation with Clark after trying to coerce Kara into joining him, he takes it out on Lana. So this is pretty much Lana's last episode. Question mark?
Ish. I can neither confirm or deny without the Secretary's
Without the
approval.
Secretary.
Put in the clip here, me.
But dude, we got the fucking return for Brainiac after a few
I love
episodes
Brainiac
away.
in this episode.
I
One that
was
like,
pissed me off
finally.
was like, he turns into a Falcon. I'm like,
Yeah, he did. I didn't realize it until
like,
like
what?
recently. Until I didn't really realize it until like recently when I rewatched that episode again. At the beginning of the episode, Kara's doing her chores. You see a falcon or eagle, wherever the fuck that
looks
kind
like
of
some
bird.
nature show you're watching, and all.
Yeah,
of a
it
sudden,
looked like you're watching a nature show at first because it's sinking into the atmosphere, and he's flying into the barn. And we now come to think of it, he can transform into anything. Apparently, he can shapeshift into animals. So that was Brainiac flying into the barn, and I thought that was such an interesting that nobody would even realize it until you rewatch that episode again.
At least he didn't like a tiger or a tumbleweed fall by, and it turns into.
What do you think?
Yeah,
what
that'd
do you
be
think
weird
this
as
is?
shit.
What do you think this is? The movie Rubber?
It's Anamorph. It's the show Anamorphous.
Or
Transformers
Transformers, where it's like a
Beast
laptop that turns into Brainiac. Right. Like, I remember in Transformers 1, not the new one, the first Transformers
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
by Michael Bay, where like all of a sudden the Allspark goes off, and then the guy's Xbox 360 turns into a.
Yeah, I remember that. That was such a fucking crazy product placement.
Wasn't there like a Dr. Pepper one, or is some kind of?
Yeah, it was a doctor. Yeah, it was a doctor. I think it
Dr.
was a
Pepper,
doctor.
yeah,
No,
it
it was
was
Mountain. No, it was Mountain Dew. It was Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, yes. Because nothing said
shit.
2007 like Xbox and Mountain Dew. All it needed was a Call of Duty ad in there. Boy.
And then there's a
But
car that.
dude, the beginning of this episode, Brainiac is like confronting Kara and convincing her to help him to join up. And we don't know what his plan is and why he wants Kara for a reason. But it was kind of cool that Clark just swoops in, just tosses Brainiac all the way through the barn. That sequence was so dope. I'm not gonna lie. And he comes through the water tower and says, hey, if we would have done this my way, no one would have gotten hurt. And apparently, Brainiac can fly now. Because we never seen him fly before. He had all the Kryptonian abilities, and now this is the first time we see him fly. He taken to the sky. I remember in the promo, when they promoted, show a little bit of a promo before the episode aired, they teased us that, is Clark going to fly for the first time? Is he going to learn? I thought that was kind of stupid that they kind of misled us for this episode. I was looking forward to see him fly for learning how to fly and having Kara teaching him. But at the time, I was a little pissed off. But then looking back on it now, I already know that it would have defeated the purpose because the point of the show, he's not Superman yet. So, I mean, at the time when I watched it, when it was on TV, I was pissed. I was like, why did you mislead us like that? Come on, CW.
Well, I mean, they were trying to get you to watch it. That's why.
I know that. I know that's the whole point of the marketing.
I will say, I like the opening with Brainiac and Kira trying to teach Clark to fly. I thought that was pretty cool. And I do like the Lex flashbacks, though, especially like all the flashbacks I thought were really well done in this, you know. And
but did you notice that there was a Veritas symbol on the glass wall, on the glass window? Because if you watch the previous seasons, it was not there, but apparently they attended it as if it was already there all along and was right in front of his face, and he didn't realize it until the memory starts to flash back to his memories that he blacked out from. I feel like that the writers themselves kind of retconned the whole storyline with the Veritas. I don't think that was really fully planned out. I think that the writers really wanted to put something in there that would make a little bit more sense, but at the same time, I don't know. It felt a little bit of a retcon that they changed.
Also, like, I've seen his dad without a shirt and his neck a million times. There's no way that locket was on there forever. Like,
yeah, like, what was he doing with the locket on
remember
his neck?
season 3 when he was about to be sacrificed by the Indian dude? He literally was. I saw his neck. There was no locket key on there.
Yeah. Why he wears it every day?
He's like, I'll wear it every. I mean, what did he do? Just keep it. I mean, it would have made more sense if like he was giving it, or if he had like,
or maybe he took it out of the vault. Maybe he kept it in the vault or something.
Because I'm like, there's no way you're saying he kept this entire time on his neck. Because
we've been watching the show long enough. We would have noticed.
That's true. But then in this episode, we get a little bit of a Jimmy Olsen and Lois team up.
They ambush Lionel like dressed up like they're
They
going
just amp.
golfing.
They're dressing up as what was the job that they're
Pruners.
disguising
They were
themselves?
pruners are us.
Yeah, that's what it was, and they just ambushed him and giving and accusing him for
I
murdering
wish
Patricia
Lionel.
Swan.
I wish Lionel would have said now, like after he gives his monologue. I wish he would have said now. Unless you're going to prune my plants, I suggest you leave.
I love when
I,
he just schooled these two. I loved it. That was pretty funny.
I wish honestly, I really wish that he would have said that. I would have made like just like take that. I wish if Lionel would have said, now if you're not going to prune my plants, I suggest you leave. You know,
Give it a little bit of a mic drop.
like I will say I do like that also Brainiac attacking Lana. I thought that was so good.
Oh yeah.
So when he comes home, like you see her like him just like he does that, and then later she comes home, her hands burnt and everything. She's just sitting there, her eyes are white.
Yeah, she's
That
burning her hand
Oh,
while she's like in a sedate. And
that was
she can feel
freaky.
and he lets him know that she will feel every pain. She knows what's happening, but she can't move. She can't do anything, and she'll feel everything. Oh
That's
my
just
God, that's
I
so
made her make
fucked up.
I made
that's
her
a
make coffee.
terrifying prospect.
Like he's really desperate to get Kara to join him to whatever his grand plan. And
I made her burn her hand.
yeah, well, he didn't make her, but he did. Keep he just kept her like catatonic or something.
He made her go home and burn her and make a pot of tea and then burn her hand.
Yeah, that's what
He's
happened.
like, you know what? Why am I making this man tea? You know what? Just let it just burn. I want to burn his house down and let him come home to find Lana dead. Oh, he's already there. Okay, crap. I'll write a note that way he knows I did this. I did this, Brainy. Yeah, sure. Like I did this, Brainy.
I did this, Brainiac heart.
P.S. Meet me at the Daily Planet. Bring Kira.
So
Also, and bird seeds
what did you think of the
and birds.
sequence when Lex Alexander is eavesdropping on the Queens and the Teagues and Lionel about the Traveler arriving? Because this looks
I
like
have an issue with one scene, but I can't explain it now.
it's taken around in the same time, like at least a few days, a week or before the meteor shower starts to ascend on Smallville. We do see the kids. We do see Jason, we see Patricia and Oliver.
Yeah, who has an arrow because I know writers who use subtext and they're cowards.
Huh.
That it's a little bit on the nose on their part. Like, really?
I have an issue with the meeting scene only because of one thing. I won't say what it is because it'd be a spoiler for like the episode before the finale.
I thought you were gonna say Lionel's wig again.
No,
I literally thought you were going to bring up that extension.
no. Although I will say Lionel, like him wearing those, when he's wearing that turtleneck or whatever in the flashback, I thought that was weird.
I think that was purposely intentional because they didn't know how to de-age him.
It's
They
like
could
it's like
because he was younger because he was still younger.
anytime you want to make somebody look younger, you just put a wig on them,
And
or you
I
make them.
don't no, I just don't think that they had the turtleneck because of the wrinkle and all that stuff, and it wouldn't continuity wise it wouldn't make any sense because he's supposed to be younger. Like this was like 18 years ago.
You could put a soul patch on the right Lionel and be like, "Hey,
I think they
dudes,"
got. I think I think that the makeup department was a little lazy.
You know what? I watched a movie recently called the 2004 Salem's Lot movie, and to make a guy look younger because he's supposed to be an old man and it's Rutger Howard. He's old already in 2004, but to make him look younger, they put a soul patch on him.
How
Gave
did
him a
it
little
look?
soul patch, and I'm like, that doesn't make you look younger. That does not make you look younger. It's the equivalent of what they did in Saw 10, where they or not Saw 10, but
Saw six, I believe.
Saw 7, where they put a hat on backwards. He's like, "Hey dudes, what's up? My name's Jigsaw, bro." Like, I'm just saying that right there is what irked me. I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Like, come on."
You can call me Jig, but the final shot of this episode almost brought me to tears. It was like Clark is just sitting there, Lana is there but not, like closes her eyes, Just
Brainiac takes Kira.
this is like
Yeah.
darkest time.
The way that the way they flew off into space, we're wondering like where the hell are they going? I mean,
Also, Lois finds.
yeah, she finds that oh yeah, she definitely finds the evidence of Patricia Swan's death. That
But
was
Lionel
supposed to be
doesn't.
yeah, that Lionel sent to Lana at the Ice Foundation because that was meant for her until she got interrupted by Brainiac and got taken and brainwashed. But Jimmy and Lois goes into the foundation and they saw the letter that and saw the evidence that it was not Lex, it was not Lionel, it was Lex, and she's got the
And
evidence.
Lex just remembers his dad has a key. Lex just remembers that.
I know,
like,
yeah,
in the
Lionel was,
flashback.
yeah, but Lionel was about to give Clark the key when Clark was trying to find
Clark's, I
Lana.
don't want your fucking keys.
It's like I don't have nothing you want. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to give you something important, and you're so concerned about Lana. I was like, oh god, come on, man. He got so distracted.
Yep.
And he doesn't trust Lionel anymore. It's like, hey, fuck you. I don't trust you. You fucking kidnapped me and put me in the cell in the torture chamber. I don't have no reason to trust you. He got so blinded by a little hatred against him.
Yeah. He let the hate flow through him, and that's what happened.
Let the hate flow through you.
But we do have one more episode to cover, so let's go to scores. Jacob,
But there is one thing I will get into for the final flashback. Lionel was responsible for the Queen's plane going down. He did had someone sabotage the plane, and he was responsible for that one. He was responsible for their death.
Good catch.
And they were literally like an hour away, about to hit on a helicopter to go to Smallville. So that's going to be in the events of the pilot episode.
Yeah, good catch. I totally forgot about. Excuse me. I totally forgot about that. And I mean Lionel just like showing his true colors right there.
Yeah, and also that Alexander heard the whole thing in Lionel's office. He literally eavesdropped on their conversation.
Yeah, Lionel proving himself to be scum, and well, that would the past would come back to haunt him. But we do have one more episode to cover. Collins, you were fooling nobody with that. Like that
I was trying. I was doing like a mime. like
I could see your hand moving.
I can see your lips moving, but I can't make out the words. I'm deaf.
I like that callback, Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear. I got physically abused in the ear.
All right, gay boys. Let's go to scores. Jacob 1 to 10.
Okay, ciao. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
He's probably gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
No, this was a perfect episode. I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna give it a 10. I don't have any issues. I have no. I'm not
you
lying.
Think it's better than the last one?
It is a better episode than the last one. No, not the next. No, not the next one. The next one is just as perfect as the last one.
I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10. I mean, that's like I'm not.
For Descent, this what was the episode title called again? No, I totally forgot.
Descent.
Veritas.
Yeah, Descent. Yeah, Descent. Yeah, Descent in this episode are just fucking perfect.
We're here to talk about Descent. No, not the movie about Neil Marshall.
Yeah, no, not that horror movie called The Descent.
Lex is not going hiking. Which is the
movie?
Trail with...
which is the movie you should watch.
Lex is not going hiking or cave diving or whatever.
He ain't go cave diving. He's not Batman.
Cave diving in this.
But
he's not Batman.
But I'm with Matt. I'm going perfect 10. This was just a beautiful episode. I mean, beautiful in terms of the craft, is like horrible in terms of like just the implications involved. And somehow, some way, the quality just gets even better than that. So let's close things out.
I mean, even one thing I want to mention, like even though they retconned things and I can nitpick things that were like, oh wait, this doesn't make sense, but they managed to execute it and try to fit this so well and try to connect it from the pilot episode of Smallville.
I agree. But let's get into this last episode for this week. It is season 7, episode 16, called Descent.
It wasn't an accident we were in Smallville the day of the meteor shower. My life changed forever that day. You never looked at me the same again. I was raised in your shadow. Now you're gonna die in mine. I'm the villain of the story.
Despite his father's warning, Lex still finds himself in a power struggle from within over the secret to the Traveler, with some deadly results. So I don't know if let's just rip the Band-Aid off now. Lionel Luthor dies in this episode. Like he dies and gets, I don't know, sent to Christian heaven or Christian hell, but he's going somewhere and it's
Most
not
likely hell.
more than likely, yes, but it's off this mortal coil. But and it starts off right away with his death, and I'm like, how are they gonna work their way out of it? But no, they actually don't. Like it's actual like
Dude, his own son murders him,
yeah.
tried to get away
And this
from
picks
his
up
own
10
shadow.
seconds later after the last episode. This picks up 10 seconds later.
Yeah, this literally picks up where it left off because the last episode, Lionel went to Chloe and tried to convince to talk to Clark and to get to what's going on. He's warning them that there's something terrible is about to come. Lex is connected to something. They refuse to listen. Chloe and Clark refused. So it's literally picking. But did you realize that at the end of the episode from Veritas episode, when Clark was going into the institution to check on Lana and breaking down and crying, blah, blah, blah. But their outfit is drastically changed because in the next episode, it literally picked up where they left off and they were wearing that same outfit, except the ending of that episode. So it doesn't look like it in the continuity it was done in that order.
I was gonna say, what were you shocked whenever Lionel's dead? Like when Lex kills Lionel?
I was shocked but not really surprised. I figured this was a bit of a long time coming, but just this whole episode is just it's just brutal. Like it's brutal to watch, but it's also beautiful in terms of like the craft involved. Like Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, we talk about them a lot and how great they are. They do some of their finest work in this episode. I think one of my favorite scenes in this entire show that we've covered thus far is the scene in which it's just the two of them. They're in Luthor's mansion and they're just having this back and forth. I have the clip. I will be intersplicing it through.
I'm grieving, Clark. I think you know what it's like to lose a father.
Don't bring my father into this.
See, they both felt that you were the kind of son a father could be proud of.
They would have felt the same way about you, Lex.
In fact, when we first met, you inspired me. All I wanted was to be your friend,
but all you care about is power and control.
This is Smallville! Meteor freaks, alien ships, cryptic symbols. These threats are real. Someone had to take control.
You're so caught up in your own delusions, you've lost track of reality.
Have I? After years of pleading with my father to show me some compassion, he turned to you. I mean, was raising the perfect son really that much work? I wonder how much of a strain it put on his heart.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
But just
that clip is so good. When he's like, this is Smallville.
All of Lex's jealous rage and his and his trying to justify like meteor freaks, like things we can't explain. Somebody had to take charge. I'm like, you are trying to justify this, aren't you? You absolute just dickhead.
Okay, I can't confirm. He is officially Lex Luthor now. This is no longer 99. He is 100% this character.
It took 148 episodes, but we are finally at Lex Luthor Prime.
Yeah, because the only that's his final transformation for becoming the Lex Luthor, the monster that we now know is getting rid of someone that is holding him back all these years and living in someone's shadow, which is his father, taking him out of the equation. I always lived in your shadow. Now you're going to die in mine. No one will ever remember your name. He just fucking shoves him off the fucking cliff, out the window. Oh my God. Like that, I had a jaw drop moment when I watched the beginning of the episode.
I mean, wasn't it like shock when he said, you knew he was going to kill him when he said, I lived in yours, now you're going to die in mine. Whenever you're like, oh, he is going to kill him. There's no doubt.
I was like, yeah, he's going to, he's really doing it.
I mean, because it's like you're just an obstacle in my way now, and my future is too great.
Yeah, the whole episode is getting rid of the pieces of his past that is really holding him back to his true potential. Like starting in the beginning episode, that was his father. Then he starts to see the flashes of the good side of Lex and getting rid of him, the good side of Lex, killing the good side of him, and becoming the monster. Which I
Especially,
thought
I
that was
like
a
how
pretty, but I thought that was a pretty interesting. Like when we get at the end of the episode, he just puts him into the fire. You make me look weak. Burns him, kills the good
he
side of
kills the
himself,
good
and
side of
he gets
himself.
that evil smile. He gets that one little evil smirk smile. Like, no, this is now the Lex Luthor.
I am. You can officially. He
I
can
am.
say
I
now.
am.
I
I'm
am the
officially. I
villain
am
of
the
the
villain
story.
of the story. Yeah, that's the
Like
one.
he is the villain of the story. This is like evil Lex now. This is like I am no longer.
But dude, that grave, dude, the cemetery of the funeral with just the two of them standing one
He was
across one
so cruel.
another.
He didn't let
This is
nobody come to
when
his father's
they're
funeral.
now officially enemies. This is when Clark and Lex are now official enemies.
Also, I like how Clark's seeing Lex at the murder site whenever like he's like Lionel Luthor just jump, and then he all of a sudden he sees like Lex and he looks over at Clark and then he basically just like keeps walking. I like that. I thought that was so
Yeah, the
cool.
one. Yeah, he's just following him around. He's like he knows something's not right, and why would Lionel jump off the roof? Makes no
Also,
sense. That's not
I like
Lionel.
how Lex he just fires Chloe and finds the key.
Yeah,
Like
that
I
was
like
like dude, he's being more ruthless.
he says you're fired. Just get the shit. He said your
He
things will be
had no
packed up.
hesitation.
Yeah. Also, trying to Also, the only thing I did not like was I didn't like how they tried to reconnect Lionel and Lex being in Smallville to meet the Traveler. I did not like that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, to me, it's like we know they were in there to meet with the Rosses, and now it's like, oh no, they were destined to be there. And I'm like, okay,
That's the one thing I did not like, that they, like I mentioned it before in the last episode, that they did retcon with this Veritas storyline. They want this to be so connected that it just brings it all together in full circle. Even though at the time when they were making that show, they did not plan that shit from the start. That was like something that was made up on the fly because they know that the showrunners, this is their last run,
and they
we
do
got to
something in
make
season
something
8. The new
meaningful.
showrunners do something in season 8 that retcons something in the pilot, and I'm just like,
yeah, I did. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, that
I know
pissed me
exactly
off
what
more
you're
than
talking
anything.
about.
That pissed me off more than this, and I'm like,
yeah, I completely agree. We'll get into that one when we burn that. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. Also, I will say though, nobody heard the gunshot in Lionel's office. Like he jumped, like nobody heard, like, hey, there's a gunshot just went off in the office. If I fire a gun at work, I'm sure somebody's going to hear it. They're probably
no one heard a gunshot, a glass shattered.
Like I would have been different if he would have just busted glass with a chair, but instead he shoots the glass.
Yeah, he did.
Bam.
And he wanted to take that locket that it was on his neck because he knows that there's 2 keys, and he knows that Lionel has the second key.
Lionel tries to gaslight Lex and tell him you're the Traveler, and Lex is like,
you know what Smallville is. The capital. The Smallville is the capital of gaslighters.
What was it? There's a Traveler and there's the Destroyer. Is that it? The Traveler and Lex isn't the Traveler. We know he's the Destroyer.
Yeah, he's more like the arch nemesis that was written in the stars from the start, because both of them are destined to become enemies.
I just can't believe Lex tells also his assistant he killed his father.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I'm like literally, and I do like that Lex's assistant says we did
his
it.
His assistant. She looks like she's obsessed with Lex. Like she will do anything for him. She's
like,
devoted
we did,
to him.
And Lex looks at her like, what do you mean?
You could totally tell she was giving off that flirtation. That you could totally tell.
Your secret's safe with me, Lex.
Don't
and
worry.
Lex, I'm like,
no one's gonna know.
You're asking to be killed because Lex is not. Lex is, and I didn't. At the end, she gets killed. Like literally, Lex.
Well, but it was not one of Lex's. It was someone else, because she discovers that she knows now who the Traveler is because she was eavesdropping on Chloe and Clark.
No, but Lex has her.
You already know. No. Lex did not have her killed. That was not Lex's guys. Yeah. It was someone else, which we will get into that next episode, and I'll bring that up because it wasn't like, because if you think that was Lex's guys that killed that assistant, it wasn't.
I thought it was just him covering up his tracks.
No. It was not him covering up his tracks, because he knows that she's loyal to him and she'll do anything for him.
No, I was thinking Lex. I thought Lex was burning all of his bridges.
Because from that moment when she discovers who Clark is and she's about to tell him who it is, who the Traveler is, and that's the same moment that she gets killed by someone, and it cannot be from Lex, because logically it wouldn't make any sense, because Lex is desperate to know who the fucking Traveler is.
Yeah, but she was calling on a voicemail.
Yeah, because he wasn't answering his phone.
I will say I do like that Lex's assistant went after Jimmy and Chloe whenever they said we have footage. of Lionel being Lex killing Lionel. I do like that she locked him in a freezer, even though it would make more sense to just shoot them and not put them in
Yeah,
a
like
freezer.
why would you leave them to bleed out? Why didn't you just kill them?
Yeah, made no sense.
That made no logical sense.
Although there's no way Jimmy's camera could have had caught Lex pushing Lionel in 2008. I had cameras in 2008. None of them looked that good.
I mean, unless you have a higher resolution, good computer software that Lana has, that the ISIS Foundation that will enhance the quality. But it's dude, it's not that far. It's a little bit far fetched anyway because Lana knows how to hack apparently.
Yeah.
I will say, I love that when he gives that speech though. Like, this is Smallville. You know, when like he's trying.
Oh no, he's giving his argument to Clark and trying to justify of his.
Like,
needs.
I need to save the human race.
Like it needs to be me. I wanted to be the one to protect the world.
Like, this is such a Lex Luthor. Like
that's
like,
totally Lex. This is why I love the character Lex. That they made him more of a complex character who believes that he could be the hero, and that's what makes him such a dangerous opponent to Superman.
In the episode of the show where he sees the vision of him being president and he sees like the blood rain on the white suit. In the edit of this show, I put in the clip of Dr. Robert Oppenheimer saying, "Now I have become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds." Me in the future put in the "Now I have become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds" clip again over footage of the clip from this episode because that's like a full circle kind of deal there.
Now I am become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Dude, oh man.
If he runs for president, this is literally his future. Because he's not off. Lex is literally not off.
Once he takes control over the world, all bets are off. I mean, the visions that he's envisioning is really just a metaphor of what he can become. A ruler, like the destruction of the world, that he can conquer the whole world.
He can't just become it. Like, he's literally one day away. Like, if he runs for president, this is literally his ideology now. Because he's literally a racist in a sense, because he's racist towards aliens.
He thinks that the only way to save it is cleansing it.
Exactly.
He says we need to kill all these aliens. I need
genocidal, basically genocidal. And he doesn't think that the alien, like Superman himself, should be the savior of the world. A human should be the savior.
He has mass genocide. Yeah, he has this Hitler ideology of like, that's always been like his character in the comics. I hate aliens. They're evil. We need a Superman as the threat to democracy. So we need to literally kill Superman.
Yeah, he is a threat to democracy. He's an alien immigrant. He's not human. He's not like the rest of us.
Superman, let me tell you something, okay? Superman is not great. I am great, okay? Superman is a threat to democracy. Okay, I know it. People have seen it, okay, at Luthor Corp. Let me tell you something, okay?
He spent billions of dollars on it.
Yeah, $1 billion. Lex Corp has spent billions of dollars, okay? Let me tell you, okay? No one has spent more money than me, Lex Luthor, okay? We're going to make
Clark
Metropolis great again.
Is dead. He died like a dog, but
he died like a dog. You got an ugly wife, Dad. He's dead.
Smalltalk does not take political stances or endorse any particular candidate because, in the words of George Carlin, it's all bullshit and it's bad.
Yeah,
there you go. That's the one.
But to close things out, this ending is just gut wrenching. The funeral, and then Clark takes the mound of dirt, throws it on top. It's like
yeah, he's paying respects to another father figure in his life, because even though Lionel was a piece of shit in the beginning, but after he became an emissary of Jor-El, he's been nothing but trying to help him, even though he does go a little bit of far extreme measures like in the episodes that we covered a couple episodes ago. But at the end of the day, he's all about protecting him at all costs. And that was like his second father figure to him that he lost.
I like how he picks up the dirt. Like Lex and Clark are both looking at each other, and Lex doesn't even care. He's like, oh.
No, they're staring at each other like, yeah, you're officially my enemy. I know who you really are now. Like, now he's a lost cause. And at that moment when he was like, how can a son murder his father? And Chloe responds, in absence of love. I was like, that was a great line.
But he doesn't know that Clark is the Traveler. He doesn't know Clark.
No, he doesn't know. No, he does not know. No.
Yeah.
I think I just think he has a suspicion that he's special, but he doesn't think he's the Traveler.
I like how he grabs the dirt.
That was a callback. That was a callback to the 100th episode from his father's funeral of season 5.
Yeah, which I made me laugh because in season 1 he says, the pilot, he said, when my father dies, he says, kings and queens will come to his funeral, but when your father dies, He said the people that love him
His
will
friends,
come to
his
visit.
friends will come.
And I'm like, you made sure that no kings and queens
Oh,
come to Lionel's funeral.
he made sure that no one's invited to the funeral.
It's like I wish Clark would have said, "Where are the kings and queens you promised back in season 1, Lex?" I don't see shit here.
But
Are they hiding?
But Lex was right. The friendship was going to be the step of legend. He was right about that.
But to close things out, I mean, I know what my score is. I think we all might have the same, but I'm not sure. Collins, what's your score?
10 out of 10 Shields.
All right, Matt.
Dude, 10 out of 10. It's perfect. Perfect. Down to the last T.
All right, we
All
are
right,
in-
Little Homelander quote. Put that fucking clip in.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
we are in agreement. This is 10 out of 10. This might be one of my favorite episodes of this whole show, period. Like, this episode rewards you for paying attention. It rewards you for investing. It it pays off stuff that you may not have known, but just remembers in the best way possible. It's, I mean, I'm floored. Like this is like I miss,
R.I.P. Lionel.
yeah, rest in peace, Lionel, of course, but I miss shows like this.
Justice for Lionel.
Exactly. But
Do
I
you think?
just,
All right. So there's only a couple of episodes left of the season. Do you think that Lex is going to pay for what he did to Lionel, or do you think, like, just your theories going into these last couple of episodes?
well, I don't know.
You don't know.
I think Lionel's all the way dead.
I mean, what do you think is going to happen going in these last 4 episodes?
I mean, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I really don't know. Like, you put a gun to my head right now, like predict, like I'm eating the lead. I literally don't know.
You weren't expecting Lionel to die this season, huh?
No, I was not. That was a surprise for me.
I was like, when Lionel, which you're like, fuck, which is gonna suck now because you going forward, you don't get that dynamic between Lex and Lionel, the clashing of titans, because now it's like the only time. I mean, but you still have Lex and Clark, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I pass it off to all of you watching. What did you think of these episodes? Let us know in the comments. We would love to read what you have to say. When
What's next week's episode?
Collins, when you said this was one of the best seasons, I was a little leery, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is, I would put this up there in the top tier of seasons of this show. It's just, I mean, yes, there was the hero one, the Stride Gum commercial, yes, but everything else has just been nothing but quality, in my opinion. But
Next week's episode is a dip in quality, but it's because this was such a high episode, and the writers needed like it.
Yeah, these next 3 episodes is Sleeper, Apocalypse, and Quest. Then it's going to be the finale because it's 20 episodes and we got 4 more to go.
Sleeper is just like it's a filler episode, but like the reason why it's filler is because it's to like this is keep you like, look, we you just had like a 10 out of 10. We want you just to have fun for this week, and then next week we're gonna get back into like the needy, like the shit that's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, that's true.
But thank you all so much for watching. This show's awesome. Like, I love this show to pieces. It's like
I was I was jumping up and down with Joy saying I love this fucking show because this episode made me more like I have no doubt in my mind this is the best season of Smallville. After this episode, I'm like, I can't see how they're gonna do the finale. I could not. I was like, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with the season finale when I first saw it.
the watch party's going to be fire, folks. So if there's never been a better time to subscribe to this channel, so do yourself a favor and do it. But it's a privilege to do this show with these 2 mooks every single week. Collins, your channel's linked in the description. We're doing the Road to Terrifier 3 over on your channel. What else you got coming up?
Well, we were talking about doing a Salem's Lot review, but that movie's fucking awful. Like the new one is fucking awful. Like I watched it and I'm like, this is shit. This is pure shit. I'm not going to make these guys sit here and watch it and go, Also, which Matt seems to be like, oh, that sounds fun. I was telling Matt about it. This sounds awesome. And Ryan's like, yeah, that sounds like shit. And so it's like, Matt, they can watch it if they want on their own, but I just think that'd be an awful, awful idea.
It would be an awful watch party, painful to sit through for 2 hours.
It's a 2 hour movie that should have been like a two-part movie to just smeared with shit because and there's dumb moments and there's just dumb things and I just don't want to do that. I feel like I would not, as a friend to these guys, tell them, hey, I want you to watch this and just y'all suffer, because I know I
Salem,
suffered.
Salem's Lot remake, no. Freddy got fingered? Hell yeah.
Well, you know what? That's actually we can laugh at that. Okay, this one you
Yeah,
can't
but
laugh at. It's like,
Ryan, it was that Winnie horror slasher, Winnie the Pooh, that
yeah,
fucking first one. Yeah, why not?
Y'all are never gonna let me live that down, are you?
the
Nope.
fucking Winnie the Pooh, and
The
The movie's
fucking
not.
Winnie the
then on
Pooh.
top of the
That
sequel
The
that he was
movie's
going to go
not.
see. He wanted us to watch it because he was going to go see the sequel and he never saw it. And I'm like, you made us watch that for nothing.
for no reason.
The movie's not that bad, guys. Come on.
The movie is worse than Freddy Got Fingered. I'd rather watch Freddy Got Fingered again before I watch Winnie the Pooh. That movie was just pointless. Winnie the Pooh was pointless. Freddy Got Fingered, at least it paid off everything it set up. Even if it was
Fair enough.
dumb. This one just literally just is like throwing shit on the wall and see how it falls.
But Matt Wyatt, your channel's linked in the description. What do you have coming up?
I recently put out a few movies, Joker 2 and the Wild Robot in Transformers 1. So definitely check that out. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. And yeah, follow my social media links in the link tree down in the description below. So yeah, I don't have that much going on right now. Not yet. But I know I'm already on with you doing that Terrifier 3, the road to that film, which I'm excited to get
Next
into
week we'll be
Terrifier
doing
2.
Terrifier 2.
Yeah, I will be getting on and watching that.
Yeah, go subscribe to both of these guys. Link in the
But also,
description.
Jake needs the money.
He does indeed need the money. But thank
Yeah,
you
I
all.
got that
But
OnlyFans content. Need to buy me a Mercedes.
as
Yeah, you
far
can get it
as
for $2.99.
as far as this channel goes, we are in the throes of Scary Mania 5. By the time that this airs, my math sucks, but by the time this airs, I'll have reviews up for movies like Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, The People Under the Stairs, the remake of Cape Fear. Brevin from Brevin's Flicks and Games is going to join me for a review of Sleepwalkers. So there's a lot coming to a lot up on the channel and a lot coming to the channel this month, like daily horror movie review uploads. Collins is going to join me for a couple of them. So yeah, lot coming to the channel. Never been a better time to subscribe. So thank you all so much for watching. For Matt Wyatt, for Jacob Collins, my name is Ryan Cam. For Truth, for Justice, for the American Way, always hold on to Smallville, and we will see you all in the next one. Y'all take care.